Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., all rights reserved.
He's the man who's teaching small business how to embrace social media, the king of tweets.
Oh, they have the internet on computers now. To start, press any key. Where's the any key?
Jim Blasingame, the small business advocate.
Welcome back. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Thanks for being part of my day. Always a pleasure to continue to be with you, and I'm very excited about having our good friend Ellen Rohr back on the show. Ellen is a longtime member of our Brain Trust. She is a small business owner just like you. In fact, before she decided to spread her and share her wisdom with people like you and me, she was a regular small business owner and learned all the things you are supposed to do and most of the things you're not supposed to do. And like me, she learned it the hard way. And then she realized that she had something to teach, something to say. And I'm so glad she did that, because she's written several books, including Where Did the Money Go? How about that, folks? That sound familiar? Also, the Bare Bones Biz Plan, and others. And she is our good friend, Ellen Rohr. Welcome back to the show.
You are such a sweetheart, and you have such fun, smart guests. I learned a lot about social media on the last segment, and at the little promo leading into this.
Yeah.
Homer Simpson was on.
I know. We have
I
it all.
love that.
We have it all here. Just hang out with us. We have a
I
little.
love Homer.
We have a little
That's
rock and
right.
roll. We have a little rock and roll here too. So Ellen, again, as I said, you learned the lessons the hard way. You're like me. I tell my audience that there's absolutely nothing that they can get into in their business that I haven't gotten myself into, and for the most part, out of. And you know, when I want to get advice from somebody, I want to hear from somebody who's been there, done that. And you've certainly done that, haven't you?
Well, I've done that, and I'm still doing that. That's the fun thing about business. I have a business, we have a consulting and internet business, and I'm starting a sewer and drain franchise.
A what?
A sewer and drain franchise. I love that sexy,
You're getting back into that kind of business, huh?
I am.
So I know what you were feeling, but what were you thinking?
Well, and today's topic is really good, because we do get to learn from what we've done before, and certain things work and certain things not so much. But one of my favorite tools, and it makes me feel like such a nerd to say this, but one of my favorite tools is the organizational chart.
Mm-hmm.
And I use it in a lot of different ways. But they're when you're feeling discombobulated, if you slow down enough to get organized, you're going to feel better. It's one of the things you can do to help you feel better, be more productive.
It
get
really
more
will
analyzed.
eliminate a lot of frustration, won't it?
Yeah,
Because that's the emotion I feel whenever I'm unorganized, and I'm on like this time continuum of disorganization. I go from being really organized to really unorganized, and so therefore, and I can feel myself getting frustrated as I move towards being unorganized.
You get wound up. You start thinking, I'm not good enough. There's all sorts of stuff that happens as a result. But, one of the things, we've talked about this on the show before, but one of the things that led me into being my own boss is I've had a lot of jobs. I've had a lot of jobs, probably 50 jobs in my life.
Wow.
And I can count on one hand the number of times I walked in on my first day and I knew whom I reported to, or to whom I reported, I guess is the proper language, and what my position was. So what do I do here?
Mm-hmm.
And an organizational chart allows you to share that with team members. Now, even if you work all by yourself, an organizational chart could help you identify what part of your completely crazy busy day you could hand off to someone else. So even if you work all by yourself, I think an org chart is an essential tool.
How does that work for a small company, a little company?
Well, your name is going to be in every box on the organizational chart when you first get started, right?
I recognize that from a few years ago.
Sure, and then, like social media, we were just talking about this. If you put an organizational chart together and you identify the different positions, and the positions on the organizational chart are usually identified as boxes. An organizational chart is or an org chart for short, is a graphic representation of who does what and who reports to whom. That's what it is. Who does what and who reports to whom.
Mm-hmm.
So for each box, there's going to be a position description of a bulleted list. I like position descriptions that are like a third page long, couple of bullets. This is what you're supposed to do.
So the org chart you're talking about is not so much to see who's the boss, but as much to identify who's doing what.
Well, the boss
who's
is important
responsible
too, though,
for what?
because it's not. I think we're moving away. I hope we are.
Yeah, we got to take a quick break. But
oh, okay. I was going to say, it's music.
There you go. Well, the thing, folks, is I like what she's saying. Maybe it's if you don't want to think of it as an org chart, you can also think of it as a job description chart. We're going to talk about that a little bit more with our good friend Ellen Rohr after these messages. 20 till. I'm Jim Blasingame. Stay with us.
Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., intended for the private use of our audience. Except as otherwise provided by copyright law, all other copying, redistribution, or publication without prior written consent is prohibited. All rights reserved.